Once again, it's your boy DJ Daniel Boom, and you're checking out Daniel Boom TV. And here with a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let everybody know who you are.
What's up? I'm Reverie. I am a rapper. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and right now I am in Texas on a press tour.
So, and how'd you come up with that name?
So when I was in high school, I used to do graffiti, and I wrote a bunch of whack played out names like Baby and Rowdy and all that shit. And then I decided that I really wanted to get into bombing and doing actual pieces with spray cans. So I said, I want to get some kind of cool name, and I was doing my homework, when you have to look up the definitions, right. And I would just get stuck reading the dictionary because obviously I love words. So one day I was reading the dictionary, doing my homework, and I saw the word reverie, and I was like, reverie, that's a cool word. What is that? And then it said daydream right next to it, and I was like, oh shit, that's it. That's my name, Reverie. And then when I started rapping, I just went by Reverie because I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. It was just for the fuck of it, Right. And when I first started making music, when I would post pictures of myself, I didn't even show my face. Nobody knew what I looked like for the first couple years of me making music. Because I didn't want to get burned for my graph, I didn't want to,
Oh, you're the one that hacked that wall.
Exactly.
So how long have you been rapping, recording?
Oh, I've been rapping like a little over 10 years. I started in my senior year of high school, and like I said, it was just for fun, and it's just been a snowball effect since then. I've been doing this professionally though, as a job, making a living off of it for about 6 years now, I would say. Yeah.
Right.
And that means like paying all my bills, and now I have staff members that I pay every single week. I have my clothing line, the Satori Mob, and have become like a big deal
brand,
now. You
get your own brand now. So that's great.
Sorry to interrupt you. By the way, I brought you a little present, my Satori Mob keychain.
Thank you.
And I have one for you too. Thank you so much.
Okay, Satori Mob, and what does that mean?
Satori, it means sudden enlightenment. And when I was developing my brand, I was working on it for a couple years, and I came up with a couple different names that I didn't end up going with because I decided that I wanted my brand to mean something a little bit provocative and something that would be mentally stimulating when people heard about it, because when I first started creating my brand, I was just gonna make shit that was like hustle, get money, fuck bitches, like the typical hip hop street shit, which is awesome. I love that shit too, but I decided that I wanted to have something a little more significant, so that's why I used the word Satori, and then I put the mob in there, so it's still, got that balance between the philosophical, intellectual, and then the hood gangster, but it means sudden enlightenment, and that's, I could go off on a tangent about that, but
so you're, deep, apparently, just for the few words from your name, from your clothing line name.
Thank you.
And that's good to hear, good to see, and good to let everybody know a little bit explanation, because when you're on stage or you're coming out with singles, you don't get a lot of opportunities to really explain, the meaning behind the brands and what you're doing. And so you have, how many projects have you released already now?
Oh, I don't even know. A lot, like 10 or 12 or something crazy.
What's the
like
latest?
That.
The latest.
The latest project. It's been a year and a half, but I dropped it, and it was called Where the Dark Side Ends. I think there was like 10 or 12 tracks on there or something like that. It was a very dark album. I was going through a really, really hard time in my life, and it's a pretty sad album, but the next one's going to be on a good tip, for the most part. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've dropped 10 or 12 projects by now. Yeah. So I make a lot of music. I have a lot to say.
And then those, how long ago did you drop the first album?
Oh, the first album was in 2009. It was a mixtape. It was my first mixtape. But, nowadays a mixtape is an album, same thing, so. But it was in 2009.
Well, back then you had to put like 15, 14 tracks. Now you can release an album with 6 tracks, 7 tracks.
For real.
But yeah.
My next album that I'm going to release this summer, it's going to have, I think there's about 21 tracks on there.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be like, I'm going to make a vinyl, and it's going to be double side or all that stuff.
No, it might have to be 3.
There you go.
Vinyl,
it's going to be 3.
Well, I'm saying, because vinyl doesn't usually hold that many songs, or they'll be real.
You know what? It's going to be my first vinyl. So I'm very excited, and it's gonna be 3, everyone. It's gonna be 3 vinyls, so I'm so excited. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
You can have a meaning behind each record, each vinyl. Or make the ones that really fold cool out in 3.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That would be dope.
It's gonna be really cool. I want to go hard with the art because it's gonna be my first vinyl, and people have been asking me for vinyl for forever since I first started. You know, and it's funny when I bring up vinyl. Sometimes people are like, "People don't buy vinyl. People don't buy people will buy anything. You know, as long as you make it dope and I put my heart and soul in everything I do. You know, so people they appreciate it. You know,
and now it's so different. Like, people don't buy music anymore, but they buy merch. So if you were to, do vinyl, whatever it is, they'll buy anything else, but they don't buy music anymore because everybody streams it for free.
Yeah.
But so you guys have to find new ways to make money and capitalize, and which is good that you're ahead of the game. And so since you used to be a bomber, a tagger out there, you create a lot of your own designs? Oh yeah, I'm the creative director of pretty much everything I put out. Like from my fashion to my clothing line to my photos to my videos. I even direct and produce my music videos. Yeah, nice. I'm super, everything I do is art. I know a lot of rappers are just rap, which is cool too. I'm not talking down on that, but I'm like a real artist. I'm everything. Yeah, I'm super hands-on. Everything I do is art, even if it doesn't first start out like that. Like for example, with my clothing brand, I thought I was just developing the clothing brand, but now it's completely become an artistic outlet, and I sometimes incorporate things that I'm going through or like colors that I like or whatever. It's really cool. It's become a really really big passion of mine, actually, the clothing line. And that's great. Where can if somebody was looking for that, where can we find that at? You can find that on SatoriMob.com. That's my brand, Satori Mob. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Satori Mob. Yes. So go follow it, and everybody out there, go buy something, support, Latino-owned businesses and Hispanic businesses out there. Very important, and we gotta support and applaud you for actually, taking the risk, doing it, and doing it out there, putting your art out there. And I have a daughter that creates, and she draws and paints, and we're kind of working her right now to start creating merchandise for her to sell. But that's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, she's selling like glass paintings where she paints them backwards on glass. Oh wow. She sells those at school. She's been more into anime, so she does a lot of anime stuff. That's cool. Anime is a big market right now. There's a lot of money in that market. She chose a good one. Yeah, definitely. And so we'll be looking forward to checking out some of your brand on this new album that's coming up. Do you have any features, or what can we expect from this album? So this album, I don't have an exact release date just yet, but I'm finishing it this month. I've been working on it. Some of the songs are like a few years old, but I recorded them all within the last year or so, and I had all these songs waiting to be recorded that I just hadn't recorded because it didn't really make sense with where I was in my music. But now I have created this whole project that is cohesive all together. It's going to be called Sometimes I Like to Sing. So I've been working on it for a few months, but I've been really just nitpicking it for the past few months. It's been done, recorded, it should have been done a long time ago, to be honest with you. But I'm, like I said, very hands-on with everything. And I work with my brother, Loudon. He's my producer and my engineer for almost everything I do. And so I drive him crazy when we're in the studio. I'm like, put 2 more kicks there. He's like, nobody's going to notice. I'm like, just put the kicks there. And he puts the kicks there. Okay, take the kicks off. You're right, Loudon. I've been like that and I've been doing that. Me and him have been doing that dance for a few months. And he's getting so mad at me. He's like, Jordan, it's like brother and sister. So it's like, but I told myself this month, I have to finish it. However it sounds at the end of May, that's how the album's going to sound. Because it needs to come out this summer. I'm sitting on it, and it's a great project. And it's called Sometimes I Like to Sing because sometimes I like to sing. People know me mostly from my rap stuff, but like I said, I'm an artist, and I just want to go wherever my imagination and wherever my life is taking me. And right now it's taking me to this place where I have begun to incorporate a lot more singing into my music, and I'm planning on taking a big turn with this album. So when this album comes out, it's going to be very powerful and very different than anything I've done, but I did it
the right way. It's a great project. It's a great project.
Yeah, and it's good to see that you put so much in the album. Like I've seen some people that they'll go in the studio. Oh, I recorded that album in a day. And I was like, it sounds like you recorded in your closet. And they'd be like, I did record it in my closet. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. I was like, are you trying to put that out for the radio or for people to hear? I was like, come on, man. I was like, put some heart and soul into it. You know, that's the music that's gonna last. Yeah. But, you know, every once in a while you do hear like, oh yeah, I wrote that song in the studio, but you know, and I wrote it in a day. But you know, it is what it is. But you know, I'm pretty sure he wrote it in a day, but then they put it together and probably took weeks. Yeah. So how many songs have you recorded, or you're just recording 21 songs and that's it?
They're all recorded already, 21 songs.
It's I know there's some people that record like 50 songs and then they'll pick, you know, 20 songs.
Oh, so I probably recorded like 25. Yeah. And then I liked almost all of them. I only caught up like 3 or 4.
Well, I mean, I could tell because there's 21 tracks on the album.
Yeah, I know. It's very long, but you know, my fans, they love what I do, you know. Yeah. And I have actually released a project before that was 21 songs, and it's one of my most famous albums. It's called The Transition. And I don't know, some people, they're like, oh, it's too long. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't care if it's too long. You know, I just do what I do. People know that I always do what I want to do. Yeah. No matter from who I'm working with, to the places I go, to what I wear, to what I write about, to my beats. I'm just going to do what I want, you know. And if I like 21 songs, then I'm about to give the world 21 songs, you know.
So it's not the same feel or flow throughout the album. It's a lot of different variety.
It's a good variety. It's a good variety. But in general, there's a lot of singing on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But everybody that I show the album to, they always say, it's not really that singy. And I'm like, okay.
You notice the singing because you're the one singing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it, though. I know it's going to be received very well.
So from hearing you talk, your brother's actually producing the beats?
My brother probably produced like half the beats on there, but he is executive producing it with me. So he's doing a big part of the mixing, and then me and him go over just everything together, and he helps me just make it sound real tight. You know, he's really good at engineering and mixing, and he gives me a lot of cool creative ideas. We really bounce back and forth between each other with ideas as far as the beats, or he'll help me with like a cadence or ideas on lyrics. You know, we do everything together.
Yeah. I have a pair of brothers that I work with, Just Beats, and they pretty much do the same thing. They feed off each other and go back and forth. One of them is the more, you know, hands-on with the beats, but the other one is the one that comes up with a lot of ideas and
that's cool,
and the hooks. And so does your brother work with other artists, or is his plate full with you?
He works with other artists for sure, and he also does different things, like for example scoring. He worked nice, like with Netflix. He's done even a video game, like levels for a video game. One day I came in the studio and he's making this weird beat, like it sounds like Super Mario, you know. I came in the studio, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm making beats for a video game. Every level has a story and a theme and characters, and I'm making it to what they hired me to. You know, I was like, whoa, this is getting crazy, you know. So he definitely does his own thing too. Yeah,
nice. It's good to see.
Shout out to Loudon.
So who can you accredit all that talent between you and your brothers? Was you influenced by your parents, or?
I would say that my parents are creative in their own ways. My mom likes to sew and bake. And then my dad, he's super into cars. And also he has a crazy sense of humor, you know? So I feel like that's his art. Like he's like a magnet. Like wherever I go, everyone wants to talk to my dad, and my dad makes friends with everybody. And it's really cool. You know, I think that's really a talent in itself. And I think that he really has given me a big sense of the humor that I have. So and it's really strange because they don't make music, you know, but my dad has 8 kids and all of us are really artsy. It's really weird. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because usually you hear like, oh, you know, it runs kind of in the family, but
yeah, it's so weird that they don't make music though, you know. But and 5 of the 8 kids make music. Oh no, 6 of us make music. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird.
So have any of them featured on your stuff?
Yes. My sister has been on my album. We have a song called Blue Skies, and we had another song, but oh man, it's so old. I can't remember what it was called. It was kind of like EDM. And then my other, that's my sister Erin, and my brother Hudson. He has done guitar for some of our songs, and he's actually going to be on my new album. And then my brother Noah, he goes by The Force. We have a couple older songs, and we're working on a new one. Yeah, we're definitely very close, me and my siblings. I'm very blessed because I know some people don't even talk to their siblings. You know, I have 7 and we all get along. The 8 of us, you know, I'm so grateful. Like, we might not be perfect, but our parents did a good job with teaching us how to love and accept each other, you know? And I really value that a lot.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And so I heard you say you did some EDM tracks in the past.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
Yeah, and I really love EDM. I listen to a lot of EDM. The main things that I listen to for sure is hip hop and EDM. I don't really do too much of it because my fans don't really like EDM, so they don't really like it that much. And the only person that I really want to work with EDM is my brother, because I like his EDM, but he doesn't want to make it anymore. He only wants to make hip hop. I'm like, sometimes I'll see him like messing with the beat and it sounds kind of drum and bass. I'm like, what is that? Leave it. He's like, no, it's getting too weird. I'm like, man.
I like weird.
I know, I like weird. He's like, no.
Maybe you have to come out with an alias.
Maybe.
For EDM.
That's a good idea.
A lot of the EDM artists, they do that. You know, like it's one artist, one producer, and they got 4 different names.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of names.
Yeah. And sometimes they feature on their own.
That's cool.
Because like they want to be known as a DJ or they want to be known as a producer only. And the EDM scene is kind of weird. Like if you do dubstep, they don't want to see you do a different type of EDM music, house music, because
so annoying.
Because then you're cheating on the dubstep community.
Yeah,
you know?
It's so strange. Like as an artist, I hate that. You know, a lot of times when I experiment, my fans get like that. Yeah. Not all of them, but a little tiny. Yeah. You know, the sticklers. What about when you used to do this? What about when you used to do that? I'm like, what about it? You know, I'm an artist. I'm evolving. Yeah. Like, appreciate the evolution. It was boring if I did the same album every year, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, you got to have different flavors for everybody on the album.
So,
yeah. Yeah. So that would tell a lot of people, you know, you got to have a song that's going to sell the album, a song, you know, a girl song or a mama song or a guy song. And then, you know, the rest of the album, you can, you know, pretty much do whatever you want to and let loose, but you got to write those hits that are gonna sell the album.
Definitely.
So what's gonna? Have you released a first single yet on this album?
I have, but I haven't said that it's gonna be on the album yet. Oh. So yeah, but yeah, it's okay. We could say it. I released a song called "Hoe Ass Bitch," and it's just those. That's one of the rap songs on there. Like it's just me talking shit and just going hard, bar after bar after bar. Doesn't even have chorus. It's just.
So is there inspiration for that song? Is there a real hoe ass bitch out there that made you mad?
Oh yeah, I'm taking hella shots on that song. You gotta hear it. Hear it when you can. It's wherever the music is there. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and I'm actually dropping the next single off of that project on Monday. It's gonna be called "Ease My Pain," and that's another video that I directed and produced. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's gonna be a really, really nice one.
So what's the inspiration behind that song?
Oh, that song.
What's it about?
Ease my pain. It's about easing my pain and trying not to blow my brains out in the process. Really, you know, I wrote it at the very beginning of COVID, or maybe it might have been a little bit before that. But in the beginning of last year, I just had like a really low moment in my life. And it was probably like the lowest I've been in like the last couple years. And I didn't want to talk about what I was going through with anybody because I just didn't feel comfortable talking about it yet. And so I was just keeping my feelings inside and letting them bottle up and turn into something that could have been really detrimental to my life, you know? Right. And so I just wrote a song about it, and that's how my music's always been since I was a kid, writing in my notebook. You know, it's always been a form of relief. It's always been an artistic outlet for me to let go of stress, to me express myself, because, you know, sometimes I have trouble speaking to my loved ones about what I'm going through. But then when it's just me and the beat, I can write about it, and then that's how I let it out, you know, and that's what I've done for. Yeah, life is music. Yeah, and that's why I know that's why my music resonates with a lot of people, because they could feel it, because it's not fabricated. It's not something I all of the songs that I've ever released are about me or my loved ones directly, I didn't go through it, they went through it, but I went through it with them. Right. We all carry that pain, and people could feel that, and that's why my music resonates with people. It's something that you can't fake. It's something that you can't fake that. And so that was what went into that song. It was a very vulnerable moment in my life, and I'm excited that now, a year later, it's finally going to go out into the public, and I'm really excited because I have now accepted what happened to me last year, and I have moved on, and I've been able to talk about it with the people I love, and I feel good, and now I've turned it into this art piece, and now I'm going to release it, and it's going to go around the whole world, and it's going to help heal people who are going through something really traumatic right now, this Monday. It's cool transforming the poison into medicine and transforming the pain into beauty. It's really the older I get and the more my music's present, the more I realize that that's such a special thing. That's a privilege for me to do that. Right. It's really a privilege, and I'm very grateful and blessed.
And I commend you for putting, your heart out there and your feeling into the music. And to be honest, that's what makes a lot of great artists and memorable songs is when you're pouring your heart out, and it's, true stories and your feelings out there, because people do relate to that, and they do, that's how they tie yourself, and those are the type of people that will be fans for life, because, I'm pretty sure you get people hit you up on Instagram, oh, this song helped me get through, a time in my life, a difficult time, and it's great to see, you're doing that, and
thank you,
and opening that venue of, putting your art out there, your heart.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's really cool. Like, people tell me all the time. I get DMs pretty much every day. Oh, you saved my life. I was going to commit suicide, and I heard your music, and I didn't do it. Or I was struggling with drug addiction, and I heard your music, and now I'm sober. Or I forgave my parents. I left an abusive relationship. But, all these different things that my music helps people get through. It's amazing. It's amazing, and it's really amazing because when I first started making music, I felt so alone, and I was embarrassed for people to even hear my music because I thought that nobody was going to relate to my crazy life. And then the more my music spread, now it's all over the world. It's international. I've been to 22 countries now, and half of the United States, and that just shows me like, whoa, everybody's actually going through something very similar. And we're all very more similar than we realize, Maybe that's also with age, I don't know, the wisdom, but it's a beautiful thing, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So how old are you now?
I'm 31. I just turned 31. Oh, I'm proud. I'm 31. I know a lot of girls don't like to talk about how old they are. I'm 31. I was supposed to be dead when I was 19. Right. Here I am 10 years later, and I'm very accomplished. I'm a completely different person than I was 10 years ago. Smoking dope in the trap, going to jail, tagging, getting in fights, getting shot at. Like, I've seen bullets flying by my face, and so to be here, to have lived 31 years, I'm fucking blessed. A lot of my friends
I grew up in the same kind of background. They're
what it is.
Dead or in prison.
Yeah, they're all dead or in prison. I'm going to a funeral next week.
Some of them I still see around, and they're still living like they were teenagers, like they never grew up. Like so it's good to see that you pulled yourself out of that situation, and you and your family. Of course, the tight knit family and your brother.
Yeah, it's crazy. My brother too. We were got a crazy child. My brother was like on heroin when he was like 15, and now it's just I'm very proud of him. Very proud of my brother.
Yeah, that's good to see him expressing his talent, working with other people, and that's something that I wish I could get into is as far as producing. Like, he actually did a video game soundtrack and scores, and working with Netflix. Yeah, and. So has he squeezed any of your songs in Netflix yet?
No, not yet. No, I'm actually dipping my feet into the singing world right now. I haven't got a big placement yet, but they're coming.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hopefully, because they're starting to do a lot more Latino-oriented content for Netflix, and which is what we need. Yeah. Because I'll sit there and I want to watch Latinos on TV, and I'm flipping through channels, and I don't watch Gentrified like 3 or 4 times. I don't, and there's nothing else like, I'm waiting for the next Mayan episode. We need more Latino content, and it's the same thing in the music industry. So I applaud you for being one of those, spotlight artists out there that's doing it for the Latinos, especially across the country, 22 countries. What's one of the biggest venues, like the crowds that you performed in front of?
For sure, it was in the Czech Republic. I played at this badass hip hop festival called Hip Hop Camp. It's one of the biggest festivals in Europe, and there was about 3,000 people in the room. It was in like not a bunker. Where do they put the planes? What's the plane called? Where they put the planes to park? Nobody knows. Me neither. Well, it's
a
like
hangar. A hangar.
A hangar. That's it. The hangar.
Airplane hangar.
It was an airplane hangar, and it was full of people. And I remember when we did the sound check, I looked at the room and I was like, "Whoa, this is big." They're like, "Yeah, there's gonna be like 2,500 people in here." And then before I got on the stage, they're like, "There's like 3,000 people in here." Everyone was like sardines. Everyone was like this, and it was crazy because I could see all the way like to the end of the hangar, right? And there's like people like outside of the door, like like all the way back, and I was like, "Whoa, it was crazy."
They were just trying to get a glimpse of y'all in there.
Yeah, and they stayed there the whole time. Like nobody left. Whenever I perform on the stage, nobody leaves. The crowd always grows bigger, and I see a lot of artists get on stage, half the people leave, and I'm very proud that I can command, you've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
I can command the room no matter where I'm at or what show I'm at. I'm going to make fans of the room. Yeah.
That's great. And not very many people have that skill. Like I said, they're just artists or rappers. There's a difference sometimes between a rapper and an artist, but I see a lot of art, even just talking to you and listening to you speak, and it's a pleasure. And
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where can they find you at on social media?
You can find me. My social media handle is Reverie Love on everything. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, OnlyFans. My website is reverielove.com. Just Google me, Reverie. I'm wherever this is music, I'm there. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. I'm everywhere. You can't miss me. You can't miss me. I have a resume now.
Yeah, definitely. You said over 10 albums. We said 11.
Yeah,
12,
something like that. Like have like
somewhere.
10 albums, something like that. I have like 140,000 subscribers on my YouTube. I don't know how many millions of views on YouTube by now, like collectively. I don't know, like 50 million, maybe more, probably more than that. Yeah.
Right, and it's great to see your, like I said, was it Satori Mob?
Uh-huh.
So y'all definitely look out for that as well. And I appreciate you for stopping by, giving me the opportunity to talk to you. And
thank you so much for having me.
Thank everybody out there watching Daniel Boom TV. Once again, big props going out to Smooth Vega for putting us together, linking it up.
Yay, Smooth Vega.
And we're out once again. Until next time, checking out Daniel Boom TV. Peace.